Hi everyone. Uh, I'm Rotaract Nithuli Ramanayaka and I'll be teaching you all English language for grade 11 students along with my friend Rotractor Yashodhya. So we will be basically following the pupil's textbook, and according to the content, we have the first lesson as our responsibilities. So we'll be conducting the basics of English language. Today's session is about punctuation marks, and my friend will be conducting you all a lesson on prefixes and suffixes. So let's begin the session. Um, so punctuation marks. So the first punctuation mark that we'll be talking today is the full stop. So basically, you use it at the end of each sentence, and simply, if we say the full stop is usually used to mark the end of a sentence. So, as mentioned in the example, Jane and Jack went to the market. It means that they have already gone to the market, or else, in other words, if I say the particular action of going to the market is completed. So to denote that, we have used the full stop here. Next, we have the question mark. So to end a direct question, we always use the question mark. As you can see in the example, when did Jane leave for the market? That's a question. So we have used the question mark at the end of the sentence or at the end of the question. So here, question mark used to end a sentence or statement which possesses a question. Do you like Marmite? Is the example which is used here. So as you can see, the question mark is used at the end of that question. So in other words, when we use words like how, why, where, when, who, and what, which are questioning words, we definitely include the question mark at the end. Next, we have apostrophe used in contraction. So this is basically used to show the short form of words. Okay, so here it's it apostrophe s, which actually means it is or it has, but with the apostrophe we have made it short. And also here they apostrophe ve, which actually means they have, and with the apostrophe we have made it short. So here's another list of commonly used contraction. You all can refer this for further information. Next, we have the apostrophe used to show possession. So if we move to the example straight away, my aunt's pen. So you can see aunt apostrophe s. Here we have used it like that to show that particular pen belongs to the aunt. So as a summary of apostrophes, so the first one is to form a contraction, and the second form of apostrophe is to show possession. So that's a small summary that you all can refer to when it comes to the main uses of apostrophes. Next, we have the quotation mark or the inverted comma. So this is basically used to indicate or to show a particular quote or a saying by a person. Okay, so y'all have seen this in newspapers and books. Okay, so I'm hungry. Okay, I'm saying that I'm hungry. So that's a quote or a saying by me. So you basically include that in between inverted commas to show that it is said by me likewise. Okay. Next, we have the comma, so which is used to show a separation of ideas or elements within the structure of a sentence. So if we go move on to the examples, we went to the movies and then we went out to lunch. So there you have, you can see they have first gone to the movies and then to lunch. So in order to indicate the separation of the two ideas, we have used the comma in between. Next, Susie wanted the black, green, and blue dresses. So as you can see, black, green, and blue are three separate colors. And in order to show that they are three separate colors, we have used the comma in between, right? So addition, it is used in numbers, dates, and letter writing after the salutation and closing as well. So this is another small explanation about the comma. So it separates item in a list and shows a break in a sentence. So every time you see a comma, you must take a little rest. So and then there's a cute example which you all can refer. Before bed each night, comma, I brush my teeth, comma, I put on my pajamas and then I read a book. So that's a list of activities that you do before you go to bed. So those list of activities have been separated by a comma, okay, to indicate that this is one activity and this is another activity likewise. Next, we have the exclamation mark. So it is used to express strong feelings or emotions such as shock, surprise, anger, or raised voice, right? And also we use the exclamation mark to give a command. Also, we use this mark after interjections and also in informal writing as well. So finally, this is a small summary on all the punctuation marks that I have included in my presentation. And additionally, I have included the colon and the semicolon as well. Where y'all can get an additional knowledge as well. So that is the end of the punctuation marks lesson. And next we'll be talking about prefixes and suffixes, which will be done by my friend. So over to you, Yash.
Thank you, Natalie. Welcome to another basic lesson of grade level English. Prefixes and suffixes. Prefixes and suffixes are commonly added to the adjectives in English. So here we'll work on prefixes at first, and then we'll move on to suffixes. A prefix is few letters that will be added to the beginning of the word in order to change the meaning of the word in terms of mostly to make the meaning negative or to mold the meaning of the meaning of the word to a different state. So here we have a prefix u and n, un, which will be mean something not or opposite, and see how these positive adjectives turn into the opposite meanings of it. Prefix un added to pleasant, unpleasant. Prefix un added to happy, unhappy. Prefix un added to able, unable. And when unadded to an action, it also tends unadded to plug, unplug, unadded to dress, undress. And then we'll move on to the prefix I and N in, which helps to make a not version of a word for in added to visible, invisible, in added to fertile, infertile, in added to significant, insignificant. So applying it to an example, people can use people when people use to ignore you can simply say it like, am I invisible? So just like Harry Potter, I'm invisible with an question mark right after it. And then we have prefix im. Im, which also helps to make the meaning as a not version of the word. I am added to mortal, immortal. Immortal, I think you all have heard this before in stories like vampire sort of creatures who never die and who live for ages and ages, while we are mortal. I am added to patient, impatient. I am added to possible, impossible. And then prefix continues to MIS prefix, miss, which will helps to make the word incorrect, sort of an idea. MIS added to place, misplace. MIS added to understand, misunderstand. MIS added to behave, misbehave. And the GIF shows that when you misbehave and suddenly teacher walks by, and then you will have this sort of an expression on your face, just mentioned in the GIF. And the prefix re added to the name, rename, re added to the arrange, rearrange, re added to the play, replay. For instance, you can get it like, let me replay this video, just like that. Okay, moving on to prefix ir, which also means something, a not version of the word. Ir added to regular, irregular. Ir added to relevant, irrelevant. Ir added to respective, irrespective. For instance, you can say it like this. If someone is talking about something that is not relevant to the topic that you are talking about, you can say it like, I'm sorry, that is irrelevant to the topic that we were talking about. And then move on to the, uh, moving on, prefix dis, dis. Adding this prefix to a word could mean something apart from. DIS added to obedient, disobedient. DIS added to respect, disrespect. DIS added to able, disable. For instance, you can use it like, as we will have to disable this system. So likewise, there are many other suffixes as well, for like il added to legal, illegal, and un added to fair, unfair, which terms an opposite meaning of the word too. And we'll be moving on to suffix. You can add a few letters to a noun or a verb in order to make it to an adjective. This is not just like prefix at all. So here we have some common suffixes which have mentioned in the grade 11 textbook. IZE, suffix IZE, suffix FUL, full, suffix LESS, less, suffix NESS, ness, suffix FULL, by, fully, suffix ER, suffix EST, suffix LY, suffix TION, shun, suffix SION, shun, suffix MEANT, meant, suffix ANCE, and suffix OUS. Uh, Moving on to the suffixes examples. Suffix IZE, we have examples here, privatize and conceptualize. In terms of a cause of an word, you can use the word privatize to make it like an account privatize, just like that. And suffix ful, painful, careful, spoonful, which also gives a meaning of, that filled with a form of filled with a spoonful of sugar. She was being careful about her health, just like that. And the suffix less, endless, fearless, which is meant to have a without form of the word. For example, she was fearless, and an endless conversation, which states without mentioning a specific time. And NESS, ness, gloominess, loneliness, which is also a state or a quality of maintaining a word. Fully, FULLY, truthfully, faithfully, carefully. It's like a notable version of a word. And ER, faster, smoother, and it is like a comparison of a word based on the action or the performance that it related to. For example, he was faster than her. EST suffix, toughest, freshest, is also to mold it into a different form of the word, but not comparable, but a different form of the word. You can buy fresher, for example, you can buy freshest fruits if you go to the supermarket. And ly, angrily, happily, badly, is also a form of characterizing a word. For instance, I want that meal so badly, just like that, and I was happily enjoying that moment. TION, a suffix TION, pollution, attraction, absorption. It's also a different state of a word. For instance, we are going to talk about the topic of environmental pollution. And just like that, suffix SION, succession, expression, is also tend to mean a state of a word. You can understand it through my facial expression, just like that. MENT, suffix MENT, punishment, nourishment, meant something sort of a result of an action. And for instance, punishment is common for all who do bad, just like that. ANCE, suffix ANCE, maintenance, performance, is also a state or an action of a word. Uh, for example, it was an amazing performance. Suffix OUS, poisonous, dangerous. Uh, it's like having the quality of the word that meant and maintaining it. Uh, For example, this is too dangerous to experience. This is too dangerous to experience. Just like that. And there are many more examples for suffixes as well. For like talkative, awesome. Awesome is for SOME suffix. And moving on to a practice of both prefixes and suffixes. So here we have the sentence, this seat is comfortable. Can you see a prefix? Yes, you do. What is it? Un. Can you see a suffix there? Yes, you do. It is able. So the word comfort, to make it an adjective, the suffix have used able. So it has turned into comfortable. And to make that comfortable word into a negative meaning, they have added prefix, which is un, which totally sounds opposite, like uncomfortable, which terms not comfortable at all. Okay, and then the second example here we have the receptionist was unhelpful. So here also we can see a suffix ful and the prefix un. So at first, help was a noun, and by adding suffix ful into it, it turned into an adjective. And to make it opposite, there we have added the prefix un. So there are just two of the examples here, but you can play with the words of prefixes and suffixes and make more meaningful make more meaningful words. And yeah, when you use vocabulary in English. And this will be the end about punctuation marks and prefixes and suffixes. Next lesson will be bringing about past tense, and thank you.
Yeah, guys, we will see you all in the second session and be about past tense. So stay safe and thank you, everyone.